Hello, and welcome to Not Too Shabbi, the Chimney Corners Camp podcast, featuring camp directors Shannon Donovan Monty and Abbott Pittman. In each episode of this podcast, Shannon and Abbott will share crazy camp stories, let you in on some camp secrets, tips, and tricks, talk about life at Chimney, and even pull the curtain back on how camp runs from behind the scenes. From staffing to activity planning to the friendships we make along the way, join us twice a month for your camp fix.
Okay, hi y'all, it's Abby, and guess what? You're not going to believe it. Guess who's with me today? It's Jules. Say hi, Jules.
Hi, everybody.
So I know you guys are used to having Shannon and me, but this week I thought it would be fun for y'all to get to know more about Jules, who is one of our year-round staff here at camp. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little interview with Jules, but first, I want to apologize for the delay. I realize we missed a couple of weeks here in September of Not Too Shabbi, and you have to give us some grace because we did have to close down camp. We had a couple of groups come in. We have to, get everything buttoned up to get started with our hiring and recruiting season.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Jules?
That's correct.
Jules, do you like being on the microphone?
It's definitely a new experience for me. Trying to get more comfortable here in the first couple minutes.
Yeah, so I'm doing a great job of just monopolizing the conversation.
Yeah.
But so those of you who do not know, and you probably should, Jules was a program director in 2023 and also in 2024. She returned to us this last summer as our staff training director. And in 2022, my very first summer, she was a counselor, her second time as a counselor, because she also did a couple weeks in 2021, if that's correct.
Yep, that is correct.
And then you were a camper here.
And I was a camper. Yeah. Grew up here.
Let's hear your story. Like, I hate to put you on the spot. No, I don't. I love to put you on the spot.
To put me on the spot.
But would you just tell me your little story, starting from your camper time here to your Aide summer, the whole
nine. You got it.
Nine.
So my first summer was in 2015. So just hit my 10-year this past summer.
Congratulations, big one.
Yep. I was 12 years old when I started intermediate, and then
What cabin?
I was in Honolulu.
Honolulu.
Yup. And then 2016, I was a first session camper. So that surprises a lot of people. People think I have a second session vibe, but I'm first session.
First session camper.
And then 2016, second summer, was a senior camper in Imperium.
Nice.
2017, I was in construction cabin, Athena.
Ooh, we're going to talk more about that.
I helped build Clyde.
Oh, you have such a good story about that. But keep going.
Yep. And then 2018 went on a TSP trip that is no longer around called TLS, which was a bike trip for 4 weeks from Burlington, Vermont to Saratoga Springs, New York. So total about 300 miles in 4 weeks. And then 2019, I was in Ebbulade, Aide summer. And then obviously COVID happened. And then I was an intermediate counselor in 2021 and 2022. And then, like you said, program director 23, 24.
You were coerced.
I was coerced, yes. This is correct.
So the thing about Jules is that most of our ad staff are 21 when they start their ad staff summer, with the exception of Jenna last year. Our junior unit director was 20, much to her chagrin. But she's of that same age as 21-year-old. She just has a fall birthday. So Jules was 20. Actually, you're probably 19
when I originally reached out after that summer 2022. I was 19. And I asked about Odyssey counselor or waterfront director.
Right, you did. You did. You asked for Odyssey counselor or waterfront director. And then what happened?
And then you said, and how about program director?
So
in my naive way was like, sure, let's run it back. Let's do it.
I didn't really know Jules very well, but she had stood out to me my first summer because she came for work week, which, can you describe what work week is?
Yeah, so it's the week before counselors typically get to camp, and it's the week that the program directors get to have with the program staff usually, and worked on training with a bunch of program staff, getting the program areas ready, lesson planning, helped out with that, and just preliminary getting camp ready and getting staff ready for the summer.
Right, like cleaning the library and checking the cabins. It's just like miscellaneous tasks that need to get done. It's nice to have a group of people who can help. So Jules showed up to work week, which didn't you tell me that you like almost didn't?
Yeah, so that was like kind of a choice I made on a whim. I had just come off of a gap semester, and so I was traveling that spring before, and didn't have a spring job or anything. So I was just like, might as well go to camp as early as they'll have me.
And so and that was the time I wasn't hiring counselors, so I didn't know who Jules was. It was my very first summer. Shannon had hired all the counselors. So she shows up and she's like one of like 2 or 3 domestic staff there. Everyone else was international counselors who were just asked to come early to do projects. So I was watching Jules just like connect with the international counselors, and at the time didn't realize that there was a little bit of an underlying sort of culture that had kind of come about in the last couple of years, where there was a little bit of like a divide between domestic and international counselors.
Yeah. I think it was, we were also in like that transition period after COVID,
Right.
bringing back international staff and everything. And so there was definitely a divide between the 2 groups of staff that summer.
Not an intentional one by any means. It's just a matter of like staff who grew up at camp and staff who are like brand new to the experience. And I was so new, I wasn't able to be a good resource. We've learned a lot since 2022.
Definitely.
But I remember like, that's how Jules stood out. And so when she asked to be waterfront director, I was like, I think you should aim higher.
Yep.
Not the waterfront director isn't an awesome job. And you almost got to kind of do that this year.
Yeah. I was definitely down there a lot this summer, which
Yeah, all the
is
time.
super nice. I loved that.
I want to hear more about that in a second. But so yeah, Jules stood out, and that's why we asked her to come back and do program. And you did your first summer with Ellie Anderson, and then the next summer, who was your co?
Smitch, Sophie Mitchell.
Smitch.
Yep, the one and only.
One and only. So you had Smitch, and then this 2025 summer, Smitch did reprise her role, and Jules, you had a different role. What did you do this summer?
I was the staff training director.
What does that mean?
Yeah, great question. So before camp really started, it was helping with the training weeks. And specifically, I helped with some van training for camp vehicles, and then I trained our archery instructors on how to teach archery.
So you're like archery instructor certified.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we sent Jules to a training. And where?
Yeah, it was in
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, because I was living in Ohio.
You're the only person.
And it was a one-on-one. It was a one-on-one training with me and this, older gentleman, Tim. And yeah, it was an experience for sure.
Who did he tell you he trained?
Oh, Jeanette McCurdy.
Of iCarly fame.
Of iCarly fame. Sam and Cat fame. Yeah. And he had quite an impressive resume.
So you were archery instructor trained.
Yep.
So you did some of that for both Beckett and Chimney.
Right, correct. And day camp as well.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what else?
And then also lifeguard instructor trained. So I taught our waterfront staff who needed to be certified, helped out with that training. And then the biggest part of my job this summer was training the Tessel aides in lifeguarding.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So you got how many of them through lifeguarding? 20.
25, I want to say.
5.
Got that. I think it might be like 20, 21 who got certified in the full lifeguarding, and then 28 or 29 of them got CPR certified. I don't know the exact numbers.
That's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
a great number. Yeah. So you were at the lake all summer.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I like to call your sabbatical from program.
Right. Yeah. I got to have my summer away a bit, I guess.
Yeah. You took a step back, and now we had kind of talked about it, and you have been calling yourself the Heir.
Yeah.
For quite a long time, and when the option to come on year round came up, you were obviously the first person we picked. And then I remember when we were giving you like the spiel about what the job was, which we called it program coordinator. It's now evolved into senior program director. But I remember you were like, my mom told me not to accept immediately.
Yeah, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's good job interview tactics. You gotta
Wait, she
counter.
said don't Except
Well,
in
she
the
was
interview?
yeah, it was like, I don't know. I guess it was more like you got to counter and be like, this is what.
You didn't
I
counter.
didn't. No, because it's camp. Of course I'm coming.
What were you playing at? Like, there's no way you were gonna
Right. Yeah.
come live at camp. And so Jules lives in the NC, which is one of our like residential buildings
Yeah.
here at camp. We have a few, the NC and the TNH, which are kind of hidden away. They're
Yeah.
like off Hamilton Road, the gravel side.
Yeah. People don't really know where it is. It's like over behind the new archery range. Kind
Oh,
of.
true. Or
Like
near
high
the
ropes.
high ropes
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So as senior program director now, what do you anticipate doing?
Yeah.
She's looking at me like, I don't know.
like,
give me a
that's your job.
task.
Yeah. So when summer comes around, I'll be spearheading the all camp events
Very
mainly
fun.
for Sundays. And then big plans for Color Wars, obviously.
Let's go.
Then in terms of between now and then, it's gonna be helping you with hiring
That's right.
and any other miscellaneous tasks that Abbott doesn't want to do, anything like that.
I wish you could edit the podcast because it's such a bear. Oh my gosh. And she watched me spend like the last,
It was a good like 15, 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes trying to remember how to set up the podcast.
Get everything going.
Yeah, we have like a mixcaster. We have like the headphone setup. We have the microphones. So it's very official.
Pretty professional.
It is.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
What did you think we were using? Our iPhones?
Yeah, I honestly thought you like propped up an iPhone between the two of you and had a conversation.
You haven't ever listened to
headphones.
Not Too Shabby, have you?
I listened to.
You tried is the words that you used. You tried. But like you have to listen to me all day. Why would you want to
Why would I add a 30-minute podcast?
It's funny because there's like I don't feel like a lot of staff listen to Not Too Shabby. Then there are definitely some who will text me and be like, when's the new episode? It's like so random. It's like the most random people, like people who are staff in like 2021. I get like
When's the Not Too Shabby app coming out?
I'm just like whenever I sit down and remember how to use Adobe Audition.
Right.
Okay, but anyway, so thanks for being on the podcast. That was a long introduction for you
Yeah.
with a lot of segues, but we got there.
We did.
So we're also, Jules, you didn't add to your task list is that we're going to be traveling quite a bit this fall and winter.
Yes.
Where are we going?
Yeah, so we have scheduled a couple meetups between Boston and New York, Manhattan and Brooklyn. Scheduled currently, we have one on November 12th, Topgolf in Canton,
How do you remember this?
Massachusetts.
Are you serious?
Rolodex up in the brain.
All right.
That's the first one. That's all you get, though. That's all I know.
You don't remember the other ones. We're going roller skating.
Roller skating, is that
That's in Brooklyn.
November 22nd?
Yes. Very good. On a Saturday, 1 to 3.
Yep.
We're going to go bowling.
Manhattan,
Very good. Chelsea Piers, December,
7th.
which we all know you spent
I spent some time finding us a hotel for that trip.
like 2 hours.
No, it's tough. I don't know. It's
Yo,
like
yeah.
you can have this one bunk bed with a shared bathroom
Yeah.
or spend 10 times that and get a hotel room.
It's New York. What are you gonna do?
I've never been there.
Stop. That's not true.
It's not true.
And then we have a couple of home visits. We have one in Brooklyn with Delia Howell's
Right.
moms and with
Lynn.
the Lynns, who are, Dave is a Beckett alum. He's on the board. He has 4 boys in Beckett and 1 girl at Chimney who had her first summer this last summer. That was really exciting to get her here.
Yeah. Good people.
Good people. So they're near Boston. And where?
Belmont.
And then Jules, we're gonna do something fun for staff recruitment. What are we doing?
We are actually going to Mexico.
That's right. We're going to
to
Mexico.
Mexico in November.
And Jules, your first time out of the country will be in October.
Yeah, well, I've been to like the Caribbean islands before, but first time to Europe in October. I'm going to Italy.
Going to Italy. But you've never been to Latin America.
Correct.
You've really only been to the Bahamas.
Right. Yeah.
And come November, you'll have been to Italy.
Italy.
And then we'll go to
And
Mexico.
Mexico.
We're going to
There you
Mexico.
go.
And so we're going to do a recruitment fair there. We're going to meet some folks through one of our partner agencies, CCUSA. We're really excited. We also get a camper whose dad works for CCUSA at Chimney as well, which is exciting.
Yes.
If you even care. Mike Cahill is our representative, and he's wonderful.
Yep.
And his daughter comes here. So we are going to go do that, and that's going to be really exciting. The last time I was in Mexico was with our boys camp director, Dan Berg.
Right.
Did you know that?
Yes, I do remember this.
Yeah, he tells this story like it's way more dramatic than it actually is. But we flew into the airport and we had booked 2 completely separate hotels because Dan is very different from me. I booked a hostel, he booked a hotel. So we got in the taxi, Uber, which is extraordinarily cheap in Mexico, by the way. It was like an hour and a half ride between the 2 of us. I did 2 stops on the Uber, which you can do apparently. It cost like maybe $30
for an hour and a half. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Maybe $30, probably less. But we were in the taxi, and it was such an extreme rush hour that like our taxi driver or Uber driver had rolled down his window and was buying belts from merchants on the side of the road. He was like, "How many? Can I get 2 of those? How much?" And like haggling.
Oh my God.
And Dan and I were just in the back in awe. Neither of us had been to Mexico before. I had been to Latin America before. I'd been to Costa Rica and Chile at the time, but I had never been to Mexico. So we were, which like, wow, this is awesome. Well, at least I was. I don't know how Dan felt about it. Now, Dan, I don't even think he knows how to say hello in Spanish. I don't even think he's tried. And I, as we all know, speak enough Spanish to be dangerous.
Proficient, yeah.
Proficient is probably
generous.
So at some point I was sick of sitting in traffic and I wanted to see Mexico City. So I told the Uber driver, I was like, "Can I just walk to my destination and then you can just take Dan where he's gonna go?" And he was like, "That's fine. Yeah, it's like a 15-minute walk. It'll be 45 more minutes in this taxi. So go." And so I said, "All right, Dan, you gonna be okay?" He's like, "What? You're leaving?" I said, "I'm going." And so I left. And I wasn't going to be with him anyway to get to hit. I was going to get dropped off first. There was going to be time that he was going to be alone in that Uber. I hope he listens to this and sees reason because he still brings this up like this is the worst thing that's ever happened to him. Stuck in an Uber in Mexico.
You abandoned him.
Oh my gosh. He could have used Google Translate. He had service on his phone. Service is free in Mexico.
There you go.
Anyway, we're going to Mexico and I won't abandon you in an Uber.
Okay.
Because we have all the same hotels.
Right. We will be.
Yeah. Anyway. So Jules, you talked a little bit about your camp history very briefly, your cabins. There's 2 things that I really want you to tell us more about. And the first one is construction cabin because you have this hilarious story. Will you tell us about your construction cabin experience and what you actually wanted your senior year?
Right. Yes. So when I was a camper, we only had 1 Odyssey cabin. Very different from how
many do we have now, Jules?
This last session we had 4 Odyssey cabins. So that's 32 campers in Odyssey, which is a large number. But when I was a camper, there were 9 campers in Odyssey. And so the way they did it was a lottery. And my sister had done Odyssey, and so I wanted to follow in those footsteps and also do Odyssey. It seemed like an incredible experience. And I love camping, the outdoors, hiking, all that kind of thing. Right. And then, the decisions come out, and I remember my mom had called me and was like, you didn't actually get the lottery. They're offering construction, and I was like, I guess I'll do construction. Anyway, so I ended up in the construction cabin, and I was with all of my really good friends, and we had a great time building Clyde. Got to which also salt in the wound. They made us build Clyde, which is designed as a cabin for the Odyssey campers specifically. So, and our whole cabin was pretty much, we called ourselves the Odyssey Rejects, which I'm not sure how true that was, but I mean, obviously it was a lottery at the time. They pulled names out of a hat.
Allegedly. we should get Berto back on the podcast and see if she can confirm or deny that it was pulled out of a hat.
Right.
Or if she just picked her.
Yeah.
Her 9 favorites. No, she would never.
Chris Burke, I did ask him about it a couple years ago.
What did he say?
And he said genuinely it was a lottery. So we'll see. I mean,
believe Chris Burke.
You never know. But yeah, ended up in construction with a bunch of my really good friends, and we got to have the construction helmets and wear our Timberlands and our jeans around camp, and felt like a very canon experience, I guess.
Okay. All right. You liked construction?
I really did. I ended up loving it, and I got to be on camp actually for all 4 weeks of my last camper summer, which I thought I valued that. And yeah, I mean, Odyssey is also obviously a very incredible experience, but you are off
Not
camp.
that you would know.
Not that I would know, just that I've seen.
Yeah, that's I think a really good way of looking at the two programs, that our
Yeah.
two like final year programs, is that if you're okay with being away for camp for like almost half
Yeah,
of a
a
session,
good portion.
and you're okay with hiking because there are some challenging hikes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
camping and roughing it, don't. And maybe Odyssey's for you, but if you like Jules valued, this time on camp and getting to soak up every moment before you move to, graduate out of camp,
Right.
then maybe construction is
The way to go.
the way to go.
Yeah.
And
And another benefit of it was it, gave me community service hours, which got me through my freshman year of high school for that requirement, which was super, super nice.
so is that a Massachusetts thing, the
I don't-
hours, or
yeah.
New England?
I don't know specifically what it is, but definitely my high school had a requirement of I think it was a minimum of 10 hours a year, and then
Oh wow, that's
yeah,
not that many hours.
right, and then I think a total of 50 over the 4 years. So you have to get an extra somewhere in there.
Extra,
But
yeah.
yeah, I got covered with construction cabin and Aide summer. Had me.
Oh yeah, you get a bunch of service hours for those
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, a ton. I don't remember how many we give out for 40 for construction.
For construction, I think I got 48 because there were
Alright.
two cabins my session.
Okay,
Yeah.
I should know that because I print the
I mean,
certificates.
yeah.
But I can't tell you. I can't tell you with a definitive answer. So construction cabin, you're glad you did it. And hey, by the way, there's still spots for
Ooh.
construction cabin
Yeah.
and Odyssey actually at time of recording. There's time. There's a
2:07 on Wednesday, September 24th. And now you have to edit this and post it within.
I really do. I can't believe you just did that to me. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I'll sit on the raw copy of a podcast for like 2 weeks, and then I'm like, I don't even remember what we talked about, and then editing it. And I got to tell you, like editing, you're going to be a lot easier to edit. Love
Yeah.
Shannon, but the number of times she says, you wouldn't believe it. The number of knows I take out,
It's like,
and the deep sighs. Why is she deep sighing? I have to take it out. I'm like, I don't want people to think that she's
she's just tired. of you.
exasperated. She's gonna be so mad that she's not on this podcast. I made at camp this summer in session 2. I made a joke, a dream guest on my podcast, a JoJo Siwa joke,
Classic.
and she yelled at me. She went, "It's my podcast too." It's
Our
not,
podcast.
It's not. It wasn't personal. Just making a reference. So, all right, Jules. So you did construction, and then you did TLS.
Yes.
So the
yeah.
program that no longer exists at Becca Chimney Corners, but
Right.
you need to tell us more.
Yeah. So it was a domestic trip, which appeals less, I think,
Yeah.
to the kids nowadays. But back in 2018, when I went on the trip, it was one of 2 domestic options. So it was either the TLS or Yellowstone Adventure and Service. I think it stands
Yaz.
for YAS, if you will.
Yeah, and I will.
And that one I think we still offer. It just depends on interest, right?
I don't know. Maybe we
Okay.
need to get
Gotta
Brittany on the
call Brittany.
podcast.
Yeah, get Britt on the pod.
I don't think it's being offered. I do think that there's a new ICEP this year, but we'll get into that later.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
But yeah, so I chose TLS because one of my counselors as a camper went on TLS and had a great experience and had nothing but good things to say about it. So I was inspired.
You're easily influenced.
Right.
Who was that counselor?
Her name's Bonnie Steinberg.
Bonnie Block.
Not Bonnie Block.
Okay, different.
Yeah. Same namesake, different person.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was 13 when I had Bonnie as a counselor, and she told me all of these amazing things. And then 15 when I went on the trip. And we had a really small trip. It was 5 participants, 2 leaders, and a van driver, a support van that was with us.
So 3 boys and 2 girls.
3 boys and 2 girls. Me and Sarah Stevenson.
Yeah, I know her.
Shout out.
Hope
We're
you're
the 2
listening,
girls.
Sarah. You'd be surprised what kind of people will text me and be like, "Oh my gosh."
Shout out. That's That's so funny. Yeah, and so we spent 4 weeks camping, cooking our own food, doing our own grocery shopping. Like our leaders would say, you have this amount of money to spend.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
You cooked,
And then,
like you planned your own meals?
Yeah, so we would sit down and like talk about this is what we want for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Breakfast and lunch were pretty much the same every day. Like
oatmeal and
eggs,
sandwich.
oatmeal, sandwich, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then, dinners would vary. We would typically spend, like every other day was biking, and then on the off days was like service projects.
Every other day was biking?
Pretty much, except for a couple stays. So I guess not necessarily as a rule every other day, but like we would spend like bike on one day and then spend the night, do a service project, maybe stay another day and do some tourism depending on the area.
Okay.
And then bike out the day after. So we were probably spending like 2 to 3 days in each area. Small towns we would stay in. We helped out at the Boys and Girls Club in Burlington.
Rivals.
YMCA
rivals.
Wow. And then mostly like physical labor projects. Like
Right.
we spread mulch. We trying to think, like helped weed like walkways for a local church. And I got to go on a bunch of different like hikes. We did some trail maintenance, stuff like that.
Oh, backpack full of rocks.
Right, that's a fun story. That so this was one of our tougher days. So we biked into somewhere in the Adirondacks. I don't know exactly where it was, but had like a 30-mile day. Biked
Holy
in,
cow.
spent the night. The next morning we had a service project with like the state park that we were staying at for trail maintenance, where they said we're gonna go on this hike, pack a lunch. Basically, we showed up. We had no idea what we were doing. They sent us back to go pack a lunch, and we went back to go on this hike to do trail maintenance. And they said, "All right, this pile of rocks, we need you guys to bring up and put it on the trail for us." So we filled our backpacks with a ton of rocks.
Okay, are we talking about like small rocks? Or are we talking about like
stones, palm of your hand stones to like line? I don't know whether they were making rain drains or whatever, but literally what happened was we hiked to the top of this mountain. It was quite a while, like quite a long hike, and it started downpouring. So our leader for this project was like, all right, we're just going to dump our rocks and go. Because it was like a pretty bad windstorm, and like it was an uncovered like top of the mountain. And we get up there and like it was a moment of calm, and they were like, okay, and then downpour. And so they're like, okay, we're just going to get down this mountain as fast as we can. So we basically spent 4 hours hiking up this mountain with a ton of rocks, dropped the rocks, and spent like an hour or two just going down the mountain. And that was our whole day. And then the next day, I think we had a rest day and then biked out the following day.
You didn't even get the rocks to their location.
Right. We brought them to the top of the mountain and left. Like that was the whole day.
There's not a vehicle that can do that, or
Right.
like really any other way to do that.
No, they just wanted a group of 5 15-year-olds to carry these rocks up.
And there were only 5 of you. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting that. Like I'm thinking like 10 kids. That's
No. Yeah.
not any number of kids.
Right.
5. Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. But I had a phenomenal time on this trip. People are like, why would you want to do that? La la la. But I like I said earlier in this podcast.
Stop! Don't call it. It's an episode.
pod.
Shannon
This
gets
ep.
mad when I
App.
She gets mad when I call it a podcast. It's an episode.
Oh. Earlier in this episode, I mentioned that I really like hiking and biking and camping. So this was really right up my alley. And it was an incredible experience. And I still bike to this day. Still have the same bike I took on that trip.
And you got community service hours for TLS?
Yep.
Did you know, like, when you were 12 that you wanted to be an aide?
Yeah, pretty much. My sister was a camper before me, and so her first summer was 2013.
Oh, wow.
And I came to Sea Camp on Gibson weekend, her second summer, so in 2014, and then by then I had like decided I want to come to camp, and part of that was seeing the aides and like being like, that's the goal. Like, that's the ultimate goal.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Your sister was what aides class?
She was a Revel Aide in 2017.
Revel Aide.
Yeah.
Revel Aide. And you were an aide of 2019. Okay.
Yeah, so she's 2 years ahead of me.
Did she ever do staff?
Yeah, she was a counselor in the intermediate unit
Nice.
in 2018 and 19.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you followed right in her footsteps.
Yeah, pretty much.
Intermediate, Tenui. Why Tenui?
Why Tenui? I always say it's like the perfect age range for me. I'm like that group of kids is pretty goofy and
Yeah.
like they're middle school age, so it's like kind of awkward, but like they're figuring out who they are. Like they kind of have they're figuring out who they are apart from like their parents or like other influences on their lives. And they're still young enough to like have those imaginative, goofy, silly conversations of like, I don't know, what would you build your candy house, out of? But still can have like that real, like, what is the meaning of life kind of conversations. Maybe not that deep, but still like, yeah, like real conversations. And I think our senses of humor match up pretty well. They can make me laugh, and I feel like, yeah, makes it feel like not like work.
Yeah, and that's how it should feel.
Exactly.
Not like work. You refer to the campers who have been in your cabin as
JC
I hate when
alum.
you do that.
Yeah.
She sees a camper name or she sees a camper.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. There, she's JC
JC
alum.
alum right there. JC alum. Yep. Yeah. So
silly. 2
I'm
years
getting
as a counselor.
getting my first JC alum applying for AIDS right now.
Yes, that's right.
Which is crazy.
We are getting the AIDS applications in.
Yeah. I had some of those kids when they were like 11 or 12.
Oh, you're old.
I know. It's crazy.
Last year was the first year that I was able to see the AIDS class. So like the Cascades were all campers my first summer. That was the first time that I experienced that, because in 2023, those kids had all been on ISAP.
Right.
So the Amerades had been, on TSP. And of course, I didn't know the Calinades until they were
Calinades. Yeah. You just got here, so.
I literally just got here. I don't know anything. But you didn't, and that's why you're here. Help me fill in the gaps. Did you envision yourself? Like, okay, I asked you, did you envision yourself being an aide?
Yeah.
Did you envision yourself becoming like a career? Well, I hate to say career because I'm trying to
You're pushing me that way.
pushing you to be a career camp person. But did you foresee this? / what did you think you were gonna do with your life?
Yeah, that's a great question. I didn't specifically think, okay, this is what I want to do.
Right.
It was more in terms of after Aide summer / going into whatever, applying to colleges, stuff like that. I was thinking definitely I want to work outside and
Nice.
in nature, something like that. And then yeah, so I went to a semester at UVM, and then that didn't really pan out for me. I left, and then I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. Just spent some time working and living at home. And then around that same time, you offered me program director.
Right.
And so, I got to spend that summer working with the staff at camp. And that kind of opened my eyes to another side of Chimney, and camping in general. And it's, something that I really enjoyed doing, found passion in, introducing new staff to this place, and just the camp culture in general. And I think since 2023 kind of have been thinking about it more, and then here we are with this senior program director job, and I have been enjoying it a lot so far, and definitely thinking more seriously about a career in camping.
Good, as you should.
Right.
Because the other thing is that you had mentioned being interested in being an EMT.
Right. Yes.
Which is something you can do here at camp in the infirmary.
Right. Right. Yeah. So that also is something that I'm thinking about too. Because I took a wilderness first responder course a couple years ago now. And really enjoyed doing that as well. The training, and even an extension of lifeguard instructor, that kind of first aid experience.
Right.
I really enjoy. And so thinking about wilderness EMT in general, but we'll have to see.
So now that you're living here in the Berkshires at camp full time living, what do you do to occupy your time? Because like people always ask me that. People are always like, "No, the summer's
Totally.
over. Like, do you even work?" I was like, "Yes, 9 to 5. Like, I'm working right now." But I'm
Literally.
just like talking to you.
Right.
But yeah, we work 9 to 5, and then this weekend I am gonna be working a little bit at Chimney. So, what do you do to occupy your time, Jules?
Yeah. Well, recently I just got another job over at the Neon Newt, which is a restaurant in Beckett, so it's like about 10 minutes down the road from camp here. So on Saturdays I'm a server there.
That's right.
And then a couple afternoons a week / mornings. I also lifeguard over at the Pittsfield YMCA. So that's part of it. And then I think I'm also still in the last couple weeks just recovering from
Yep.
the summer.
Yep.
So it's been a lot of kind of doing nothing.
Yep. Very warranted.
Totally.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, so far it's just been kind of working at those other places and here. Also I get to use our 5-star world-class gym down in the basement.
We do. If you didn't know, we have a staff gym in the basement, and it's good. It does.
It has things.
It does most
the
of what you need. I think they could
Totally.
use a couple more leg functions.
Apparatuses, yeah.
Apparati.
Something like that.
And then we also get to use our state-of-the-art pool table.
Right. That's another great pastime. Got a gorgeous pool table over in the art center now and
A donation,
a
which
donation.
was very nice.
Yes.
And
And Abbott and I have been getting very good at pool.
we use that term loosely.
Good.
In that we're both about the same skill level, so it's
Right.
a crapshoot who wins, and usually it's because I have been trying to hit the same one ball in for
Right.
7 turns, or Jules sinks the cue ball after the 8,
Right.
which is her favorite thing to do.
It's wildly common.
It's a common problem. They
Yeah.
should do something about that. Why is no one trying to fix that? No one's aiming to solve it. In a crazy twist and coincidence, I also happen to work at those same 2 places.
Right. Oh my gosh.
I also help serve at the Neon Newt. I also
Yep.
guard at the Y. And that's primarily, I think, and sort of why I encouraged Jules to get these jobs. I didn't get the jobs for her, to be clear. She interviews very well. But it's like, it's good to stay busy and meet new people and be part of other communities here in the Berkshires, because otherwise it can get pretty lonely. I mean, like, really, if you think about it, it's me and you, Jules, and Shannon and Brittany.
Yep.
On the Chimney side.
Yep.
Oh,
And Emily.
and well, I'm talking about who live here.
Oh.
It would be awesome if Emily
Oh,
lived here, but
imagine.
she doesn't. George
George.
from Camp Beckett.
Yep.
And then Dan's and Anthony are over on the Beckett side. And like when I started here, he definitely did more stuff with Dan and Shannon. Like we would go out to meals and we would go to trivia and would go to the Big E and all of that
Oh, yeah.
stuff. But since we've all kind of settled, I think they were kind of just like, all right, find your go.
Yeah.
Fly.
Be free.
You don't have to deal with us anymore,
Totally.
which is kind of sad because they're fun. But I should reach out to them.
You could reach out.
I
yeah.
could just reach out. It'd be easy enough. So it's important to have those like extracurriculars, if you will, because
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like it's necessarily a money thing more than it is just a
Other people.
meet some other people. And we both guard in the morning sometimes at that Pittsfield Y, and we get the same regulars. And
Yeah.
they asked me about you today, Jules. They were like, "How's your friend Jules?" I was like, "You guys had one shift with her. Why are you asking about her?" And then everyone keeps being like our boss at the Neon Newt, like our boss at the Pittsfield Y. Oh, Jules is so sweet.
Yeah.
Who
'cause
the
I am a
heck are they
delight.
meeting?
I am a delight.
Oh my gosh. I was like, she's a pain in my neck. You do not know Jules if you think she's sweet. Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Whatever. It's so funny to hear that. People, I
Yeah.
don't know why they're telling me that, like try to reassure me. I don't know what it is. But so it's really, really great to have you here, Jules. It's nice to have a peer.
Totally.
I'm 10 years older than you. But we're closer in age than me
Right.
and Shannon.
There you go.
But not me and Emily. So
Right.
it's nice to have someone else here, especially to do stuff like set up the projector for the board meeting.
Right. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
thank you for doing that.
Anytime.
Is there anything else you want to add before we sign off the Not Too Shabby podcast?
No,
Not
thank
too
you.
jabby.
Yeah, not too. Oh, there you go.
That's not good.
Not too. Abuls. It works.
It's It's not good.
Make a graphic. No, I don't have anything else to add. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on the episode of the
Yeah.
pod. Dream guest on my podcast.
It was a delight.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.